Final day. Let's go, baby. Final day of the 31 day journey of this fast, of this whole endeavor. Oh Lord, man. Listen. Final day, man. How you doing? How you feeling? Same old intro. I change it up all the time, but if y'all just learning, y'all brand new, man. I've been around this game for 11 years. I had a bunch of intros. And I feel tremendous, stupendous, everything. Every endless. Because we finna end it tomorrow. Tomorrow, 11:38 a.m. on October 9th, we're going to end it. And it has been a glorious journey, a wonderful time. And I gave y'all all the information, all the tips, how to. I've been telling people over at the grocery store, it's like, how you do it? They seem more interested than y'all, but y'all might be low vibrational, dead inside, whatever. But the people coming in the past broadcasts, y'all gonna know. Y'all know, y'all ask the questions, y'all wonder, and maybe this, maybe that, watch it back and all that stuff. But hey, man, it's all good. The people in person just seem more interested, man, because they probably come outside their closet in this motherfucker. So, yo, it has been a wonderful journey. All the tips I went over is to prepare for the fast, right? So how would you prepare for the fast? We eat based on your blood type and what you're used to at a cleaner level. So if you're not eating clean, eat clean in that range of time. So at least 1 week. I was literally telling some ShopRite worker about starting out with what you already eat, eating clean, and at least 1 week of that. Okay, straight clean. All right, so if you eat chicken, just eat chicken clean. For me, I'm a frugivore, blood type A, so I'm going to eat fruits and vegetables straight for a week. I did it for a week and a half, 2 weeks. Okay, so prepare for the fast. That's physically and mentally. Mentally, tell yourself you're going to not eat for 31 days or 37 days or 51 days, whatever amount of days you're doing. Tell yourself that internally and externally. I'm going to not eat for 31 days. It may be tempting, but I'm going to not eat for 31 days. Okay? So mentally and physically prepare yourself. Once you go into the fast, you will spiritually, emotionally change over time. The third, or fourth, fifth day may be the hardest time, but you have to push. You have to keep pushing physically and mentally. If you're doing workouts, if you're just meditating, doing Tai Chi, if you're doing saunas, just make sure you're hydrated. People that are doing dry fasts, you shouldn't be doing any saunas based on my knowledge, and you should be just honing who you are and meditating. Okay, if you're doing a dry fast, just make sure you're not exerting too much energy. I was able to do a liquid fast. This is why it's saying in the third word of the title every single time for 31 days straight. I've done water, tea, fruit smoothies, and almond milk. So I was able to exert a lot of energy because I'm taking in a lot of nutrients. Water is technically a nutrient, but it's there for hydration. Okay, plain old hydration. I should have really took amino acids to really take care of my pump, but a little bit of my frame is gone, but it's okay. We're gonna gain it back and keep it and extend upon it throughout time. But make sure you're not exerting too much energy. Okay, so know the type of fast that you're in within the 3, 4, 5 days. Once you acknowledge that, and you acknowledge that you've been fasting for 3, 4, 5 days onto the 6 and 7, right? I'm talking the aspect of at least 30 days. Once you're into that, then you want to prepare to stay away from addictions. Okay, so you're gonna have, I'm already going by if you're a strong-willed person. So if you're going by, say, like you're around like family members that don't fast at all, don't really care, never attended to at all ever in their lives, or friends or random people if you're at work. You have to steer away from addictions and stay at bay from them, at least. Don't try to touch it. If you're working with food, try to finagle not touching it. But if you have addictions, you should really clear majority of your addiction before you even fast, because it's gonna be so hard for you to keep the fast in the 7th, 8th, and 9th day. In my first 30-day and 12-hour fast, this was 3 years ago, all right, 2022. I don't have addictions, so I don't know the feeling of it. I never had an addiction a moment of my life, a day in my life, okay? So it's just, I can't relate to that. But based on studies, you want to steer away from any type of single that can activate a withdrawal to then make it a new addiction or a repeating addiction, you know, or repeating offender. So we don't want to do that, okay? So to also help with that, in that time of 7, 8, 9 days, if you need help moving around, have a friend or family member help you, but then also go to the store and get the foods that you're going to use or utilize to break the fast. So you're going to break it in 10 days, get it 4 or 5 days before, on the 4th day or 5th day. So I'm halfway, let's get this food. I gotta do another half, right? If you're extremely strong-willed like me and none of that really bothers you, you can get the food at the very last moment, at the very last time, last few days you're gonna be fasting. And it's a wonderful feeling when you do and when you get it, because it's such an abundant amount of energy and force coming at you. Like, you might look crazy, like, oh my god, this food. I saw some of my buddies that I met in the past, and it was like, oh yeah, what you doing, man? What you doing? He's a big set fellow. You know, and it's like, you know, just catching up and stuff like that. I'm telling him I'm fasting. He's like, oh shit, you fasting too? Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, he wasn't fasting as well, but he knows I work out a lot. He knows I'm doing a lot of things. So, oh, you're also doing this? So yeah, like, he knows I'm a tense person when it comes to my health and wellness and stuff like that. So all the same, all the good. So, but overall, my man, my woman, you just gotta stay strong in the 7, 8, 9, 10 days. Okay. So some people starting out slow. For my friend I just mentioned, he's starting out slow. He's trying to lose weight. He's eating more greens, eating less meat, all that stuff, man. So you gotta start out small and slow. Okay. Past the 10 days, you will feel different. Okay. So you will feel extremely different. 11th, 12th, 13th, especially the 13th to the 16th, you'll feel like, yo, I'm about to give up. I'm about to not do this. This ain't worth it. This ain't the time. But you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing mentally, physically. The first set of tips I mentioned within the, you know, 3rd and 4th and 5th day, like, you have to mentally and physically stay true to yourself. Like, remember why you're doing this. Remember your entire why, and you have to stay aligned with it. Stay away from addictions and just stay focused. Just stay focused in what you're doing, and it's going to turn to your benefit. You should educate yourself also. One thing I kind of left out, you should educate yourself on fasting. If you're watching this, you watch my social media. I fasted before. I put it on social media. I just put it on a video marketing platform, YouTube. I don't really do the social media. I just did it on here. And primarily, it's about educating yourself, watching me, watching whoever else is going to explain it. I'm not going to have the detailed, high edited videos because there's not much support. So I'm not going to edit a video because the support isn't coming back. And people, fan base, community, and especially monetary. So monetary means money, you know, money, resources. Cash that motherfucker. But PayPal too. So, but you have to really stay aligned and make sure you're keeping up with your education on why you're doing it within the 13th to the 16th day, which is the hardest on average for every single person to fast, towards the 20, towards the 30, 40, 50, so on and so on. So past that, you will feel completely different within the moment and past that moment, because once you're really on the 16th, but then definitely on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, it's kind of iffy because you're in the moment. And I'm telling you from experience, you really feel it when you're experienced after the 15th, not so experienced on the 16th, definitely on the 17th when you have no experience at all. You should be just doing a 1, 2, 3 day, and you should honestly feel so different to where you start seeing, you might see some things, you might see a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but you know, it depends on each and every person. You might see ghosts, you might see some weird stuff. So I'll let you down, I'll let you in on the story, you know. On yeah, so on the 30th, so on the 30 days and 12 hours, the first one, I saw some weird shit. I saw some crazy stuff, and I wanted to hold it till now to say it, that like it wasn't a ghost, but it was like not like a Casper ghost, but a black ghost. But it wasn't like a full-fledged ghost. It was just something that was like a spirit, like around, you know. And then you sort of be like, oh shit, what the fuck? But I didn't get spooked. I was just like, the hell? Like that, like usually like a real life in the moment, like the hell. So you start to see like what spirits are around you, and you start to really develop the idea that, yo, like this is either a good spirit or a bad spirit. For me, it was like a neutral spirit towards a bad spirit. So really, it wasn't too much of a good time, but it was like a slight spook, but I wasn't fully spooked. So it's just something that you have to really admit at your comfort level. I'm willing to tell the internet it, because at the end of the day, I see y'all as bots. I don't really see a real community anyway. Even though I see a real community, I'ma still say. So it's a different time, it's a different thing that is really for you. And if you're doing it with people, is really for a specific time for those people, and to come together, go over your traumas, go over your problems, go over what may be holding you back. Okay, for me, it was primarily like communication overall with my family and my friends. So it was mainly that, and admitting it internally and externally. So it's really something that opens you up, and it becomes something so magnifying that it's like, dang, like at the same time, you're so glad that you did the fast, because now it shows that you are really opening up to something that you weren't able to open up 17 days ago. So it's something really, really astonishing and amazing while doing this fast, you know. So it's a beautiful thing. So it could be that, it could be a spiritual mental thing that I just said 2 seconds ago. It could be something physical. The physical stuff is like on the 14th day, you start like your hamstrings start tweaking. I'm working out, and it's like I'm sleeping, but I can barely sleep. You know, you start waking up in the middle of the night. You know, the 14th day is happening, 11th day, 14th day for me. So it depends on how you're going through the fast and what type of fast you're doing to have different results. Okay, so that's the 17th, a little bit of 16th, throughout the 19th and 20th. You start to feel emerged. You start to feel different in the 20th and 21st, because the 21st fasting day is so famous. Like your body actually feels symbolically and physically different, because your frame does start to leave you depending on how you're doing the fast. My frame probably would have never left if I'd done amino acids, like supplement straight amino acids. But the best part is about fasting is when you're in your 3rd day, you start to develop stem cells, which is a great tip. You know, I'm going over all the tips and adding in more. So you guys should be doing your notes, writing it down like it's school. A lot of people don't want to learn because of how school is structured, and y'all just turn off by it. But you gotta woman up, man up, and actually take down some notes, because that's how you become educated. Why do you think I'm speaking so well? Why do you think I'm able to help all these people in basketball? You know what I mean? So when I'm out and about. How do you think I'm able to dunk on suckers? It's a trait that people don't have, is note taking and public speaking. You know, you gotta work on it. Okay, can't be too bothered by it, right? So a lot of traits, a lot of techniques that I'm using all the time. It comes out more because I've opened up to this fasting idea, you know. Start to feel that in the 21st, that all your abilities, all the things you're able to do becomes heightened and better. You become more aware, you become better. If you had visions that I was mentioning from a little bit of the 16th to the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, you start to really have like, oh shit, like I'm glad I faced that vision or whatever happened to me, that physical attribute that went crazy, because now I feel like I am what I should have been. I feel like I am what I'm going to be, you know, and the more I fast, the more I meditate, it's going to unlock more of who I am, you know, and it's such a beautiful thing to do this and to fast and meditate, Tai Chi, all that stuff, man. It just gets me excited. Sort of have an abundance of energy. So much energy comes out on the 22nd, the 23rd, the 24th. You start to be untouchable, invincible, eternal. And you feel like nothing can touch you. Oh, and around this time and the entire time, I really suggest not to deal with outside bullshit. I'm dealing with a lot of outside bullshit right now. Low vibrational people that can't keep their word, they can't be consistent, things not going my way, which I'm fully accepted of. I'm accepted of things going my way or not going my way, but when it just happens too much at a very intentional way, it's like, come on, man. You gotta start calling up your gangsters like, yo, get this motherfucker. He's fucking with my money. But low vibrational people gonna be low vibrational people at the end of the day, man. Cause they don't got it in them to really make sense of what they doing. You know, you thinking they can just do some bullshit and that's it. Whatever you may believe in, whatever may be it or whatever it could be, yin and yang always goes. So I would advise to stay away from anything that you don't have full control of or can tick you off. It can really mess up your feng shui. So I would really suggest really steering away from that. But at times when you can't, like me, you gotta just deal with it. Stay mentally strong. So when you're going into the fast at the very beginning, stay mentally strong. Stay mentally strong, because when you have this abundance on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, you really start to have this invincibility. The eternal essence grows. Your spirituality becomes something unfathomable. Okay? The 25th and the 26th, more of your frame and more of your mind starts to ponder a little bit, you know? So you have to stay really diligent in your thinking, not to doze off and stuff. You may feel tired for the last time if you're going to end it on the 30th or 40th, because it's a mental thing. Like, you know you're going to end it on the 30th, so it's like, oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of energy. That's why I had a bunch of energy the last 2 streams. So I know I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it in less than 16, 17 hours. I'm going to end it. You know, whatever that may be happening, you have to be so poised and so aware and so calm with what is happening, no matter what you're going through. So you have to really be so consistent in your thinking that it's like, wow, like I'm the one and only in Alkebu-Lan. So in that 25th and 26th day, don't get too spooked. Stay the course, stay consistent, and you'll be all right, you know? Stay the course, stay consistent, and you'll be all right. Into the 26th, ending the 26th to the 27th, 28th to 29th. You're ending in on the 30th. It's like, yeah, I got it, you know. The visions you may be seeing, the loss of frame, if you're working out, a little bit of tightness, a little bit of strain, because now all your nutrients are coming. You're doing meditation, you're into a whole nother world. Everything is magnified and appreciated once you're coming to the end of the whole fast. And towards the end of this fast, mine's ending on the 31st. Yours might be ending the 30th or the 40th. Start to really become new, right? Our bodies change biologically every 8 years. That's biology. That's in the books. You can fact check me. I actually get some talking in here in the comments in the live chat. The body biologically changes every 8 years based on your DNA. I don't think so much of an RNA. When you're going through this, man, it's like you just sped that up within the time of when you're fasting. Like, oh yeah, my body changed already, but it didn't actually biologically change. You metamorphosize. I'm saying it right. Metamorphosize into a new being, spiritually and emotionally and mentally and physically. And now you can end your fast with whatever food you got. From what I was saying, from before halfway to the very end, you end your fast with that food, that healthy food. Maybe you started with it before the fast, or some other food you wanted to try that you should be eating by your blood type. Overall, it's the most magnificent feeling, the most astonishing feeling ever when you end the fast on the food you want to eat based on your blood type, based on what you should be eating. Beautiful. It is amazing. And something that everyone should do. Everyone can fast. No matter what experience level you are, you just prepare physically and mentally, and you stay true to it. That's what I'm going to say overall in the tips of the fast and the fasting. So for me, I'm going to end this fast tomorrow, 11:38 a.m. October 9th, with black rice, lentils. I found fava beans. I mentioned ShopRite. I found fava beans at ShopRite. No sponsor, but I'm just willing to give because more of who I truly am, a very charitable, giving person, comes out more. So I would have never mentioned them. I was like, whatever. I think I mentioned that maybe in like the 14th or 15th, and that wasn't me holding back. I just didn't want to mention them. But whatever. I ain't gonna say it again though. But I got fava beans and lime for the first meal, and avocado. Okay, so I have avocado, another half avocado. I'm going to do the other half of the avocado, okay, with some added stuff. I have some stuff laying in the fridge for, the whole time, so maybe it's still good, maybe not, obviously. But for the first meal, it's just black rice, the lentils, the fava beans, the avocado, and the lime, and then I'll add in everything else. Red onion. I might have red onion and pepper in there, but red onion and pepper for sure for the second one and all that. The next meal is going to be 2 avocados in the same thing. Maybe just change it up a little bit with the sweet potato. So a whole avocado for the first meal, and the second meal, another whole avocado. You guys remembered, you've been taking notes, only eat 2 meals a day. So I constantly practice fasting all the time. Intermittent fasting, 12-hour fasting. I don't do all the other fasts. I just do intermittent fasting and 12-hour fasting. I know there's 8-hour fasting. You pretty much do that automatically when you're sleeping, and so I just do intermittent fasting. I just skip a meal. 12-hour fasting, you're just doing nearly 1 meal to have a snack in the meal. You do 1 meal a day, stuff like that. So I just do intermittent fasting, 12-hour fasting. And the third day, I'm having 3 avocados. So an avocado and a half, and an avocado and a half. So Listen, we balling, okay? And then yeah, man. And I said this before a few times, whatever streams, you guys can go back and look at it. I'm devoting the rest of my life to fasting. So I'm going to fast forever, okay? But I will be breaking the fast. But every single month, based on the Jordan calendar, I'm going to fast at least 1 day to 7 days, depending on what I'm eating. So I still incorporate meat and cheese and all that, some typical stuff. I still incorporate it. But if I'm going to incorporate it, I have to do a longer fast. So I got to fast for 3-4 days. And then when you fast, you should be eating the foods that you should be eating anyway, based on your blood type and what you're genetically used to overall. So that's the main thing. You can always genetically change what you eat, but based on your blood type, you should be eating like that. So mainly, I want to fast for 1 day to 7 days almost every single month. And finally, for all my workouts, I've been increasing the load and then increasing the amount of smoothies. So I think on, let me see, let me get the number. This is 31st day, 30th, 29th, 28th, 27th, the 26th day, I had a green smoothie, and then I had my smoothies later. So then on Friday, last Friday, I increased the amount of smoothies to 1. So instead of 2, I had 3. So now I've been having 3 smoothies, and I'm going back to 2 starting tomorrow once I break it. And that's just for extra calories and extra energy, because yesterday I did do a whole 22.4 mile bike ride. So that was crazy, pushing my body to the limit. But then my muscles were so pumped and so energized. It was amazing. So primarily, do what you need based on what activity you are utilizing throughout your fast. So I needed more calories. I'm getting like a little bit of calories. I was adding a smoothie since Friday. That was the 26th day. Now we're on the 31st. So I can't wait to break it. But yeah, overall, I'm increasing the load tomorrow, and I increased the amount of reps and sets. So I did 15 on average to 20. I'm doing 25 to 50 reps of everything: biceps, triceps, shoulder presses. I'm getting back to burpees now. I want to make burpees easy for me, without weight, then with weight. So I want that ability of just going crazy on the court. Anything I'm slow in, I want to just get way past it and make it look easy and feel easy, and increase this muscle. I'm getting 40 pounds of muscle, 156 pounds. And let me update that in there. I didn't put it in there. I'm going to be 195 pounds, and then 40 plus pounds of that's going to be muscle. So I want to be able to make sure I'm growing my frame and my muscle all the way around. Go ahead and reload that, refresh that. So I was aiming to take 4 or 5 months. One trainer I was talking to, she was saying, I said, possible? I'm like, all right, well, I want to make it possible, because that's around the time I want to get back into the pro-am, because that's a good time. That's around like what, like March and April. So I want to get back into the pro-am. So I'm at least be 20 pounds of muscle. I know that's possible, but that means I gotta increase the amount of calories like crazy. So, and that's why we gotta get the likes up. We gotta get more people in here. We need more checks from YouTube, and y'all gotta support monetarily. Cash App, PayPal. Give a real motherfucker that been going on for 11 years some bread. Frumpy motherfuckers. Frumpy's out. So I've been pushing, and I've been giving a whole bunch of examples throughout all these videos and streams, and I hope you all like it. So increasing that load, making sure I'm growing my muscle, and I'm going to stay consistent and devote the rest of my life to fasting. So yeah, that's everything. That's the tips, that's the overview, and I combine all the tips together plus more, and the overview was astonishing. You all should be liking and subscribing, okay? Live in the past broadcast. Go ahead and support real motherfucker. All right, so appreciate you guys being here. Let's go ahead and ball out on whatever game we're gonna play. More stuff coming through. We're getting back to the new game pluses and making sure we're staying on top of that at all times. I may still stay on the screen, but it depends. At times I may not. If I'm super busy after a workout, you know, I gotta get back into another workout, or if I'm coding, I'm still coding the website. I didn't start yet. I'm doing the apps, then the website, then a few more apps. So, or a few more apps. So I want to just stay on top of the stuff that will make CYBE more revenue, because the digital market is not making any revenue since no one really respects the grind or anything really new. So I want to find better people online too, because people just suck. I pay for the PSN and I'm playing with randoms on Call of Duty. I need consistent people, so I'm gonna hit up with some old people from the past. I'm gonna try and find some groups, because everyone I see randomly online just sucks at video games, because they're 12 and they can't pass their special ed classes. So I gotta stop playing with them motherfuckers and find some real gamers. So I'm gonna find some real gamers. Gonna be focusing on the app creation and websites and everything else I got going on in the background to make revenue for CyberConnect CYBE. That's the company that I made a few years ago. And you may not see me on the screen a lot because of those two things, okay? If I got people, you know, I'll get on the screen more. But then primarily is the websites and apps and everything else I got going on. So that's the whole overview. That's the tips. And it's been a wonderful journey. It's been a wonderful journey doing this. It's been a wonderful time doing this. And I'm excited to end the fast and continue fast for the rest of my life and gain 40 pounds of muscle. From 156 to 196, I shall be so strong. I'm bumping motherfuckers like, get out my way. I become an all-round superstar. You know, they had an all-round superstar in 2K14 before y'all were born. Yes, there's an all-round superstar player type. So I'm gonna be that. So let's go ahead and ball out. I'll play some Call of Duty, maybe some zombies, and then we'll see what goes on. So at most 2 hours. I already gave y'all a whole bunch of sauce game for 33 minutes. I'm gonna clip that to another video because people's attention spans are worse than ever. It's been worse than a fish. A fish is like 6, we're 4 and now we're 3. So everyone's mentally retarded. So whatever. I'm gonna be alive in digital marketing, right? A good thing I got stuff going on in the background. Let's go, let's get it, and let's go hard in this. And I still gotta clip those videos. So, whole bunch of stuff to do, man. Whole bunch of stuff to do. Because I'm a real content creator at the end of the day, baby. Been doing this for 11 years. Come on now. Give me no sauce. And so many reps. Let's go. Let's get it.